Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at BellisioFoods.com/careers.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
What does that mean?
It is Apple Festival time, Jen. That
It's
time-lapse
Apple
video
Week.
is so cool.
Isn't it fun?
It's right, I think from a couple years ago, but it's always neat
Yep.
to watch.
Yeah, it is, and it's just like you can watch that over and over. It's like mesmerizing.
It
'Cause you can watch the
is.
shadows, you can watch the sky,
Sky, yeah.
you can watch all the
The-
lights
and the people, and it's
the
just
people. Yeah,
just neat to see.
yes,
Just neat to see.
it totally is, and I think James did that a few years ago, maybe now, and
I think when you guys were still uptown.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we don't have that vantage point anymore,
Right. Right.
which
Very
is
true.
really really nice when you're driving to work.
Right. Just walk out the front door and you're there.
Yeah, but at least we have parking now.
Right. Did you have problems with people parking back there when you guys were up at the old building?
It was, let's just say,
Because you're on the corner of Main and what was that, Church?
yeah, it's more about getting there.
Getting
like
there.
because there's only like one way to get through, and a lot of times you got to cut down alleys to get there. Especially on like Saturday night of the parade and whatever, where they go ahead and shut all of the
Yeah.
streets down. You're like alley hopping to try to get through if you need to get there. But it's okay. It's fun. It's Apple Festival time. Brings lots of people to our area.
It does.
And
It
that's a
does.
great thing. So if you're trying to drive down Main Street, don't.
No, don't do it. Go around.
Go
I remembered this
around.
morning and I cut across on water. So
Yep.
I remembered coming.
And here's the deal. If you are worried about parking or whatever, the Boy Scouts have basically take over every parking lot in downtown Jackson, and find a Boy Scout, give them $5, and park your car knowing that it will be watched and safe
Right.
and not towed.
Yes. Very
Which is
true.
a whole other situation.
Right. Yeah, we got to watch
But,
that.
yeah, don't park where you're not supposed to, because you're probably going to get towed.
I feel like Red Thompson Jr., if he's watching, needs to take heed to those words.
Red.
I feel like Red's probably parked in a few places he probably shouldn't have for festival time.
I'd say you're probably right.
All of us probably have at some point or another, I would say. I
Yeah,
usually
I'd
always
say so.
try to get a good, legit parking spot.
Yeah. So it's just not something you want to have to worry about while
Right.
you're out and about doing whatever. So.
Right.
But no, Apple Festival is a lot of fun. I know we'll have the Queens End tomorrow.
Oh, very good.
And
It's a good group of girls. They'll be very
Yes.
talkative.
yes,
Well spoken set too.
that's awesome. We love
Yes.
that. And I think some other folks will be kind of scattered out throughout the week, and we'll try to get you a little taste of a video to show as well.
Okay.
So, but the Apple Festival is here, but Jeremiah is still out doing all of the news stuff on top of all the Apple Festival stuff. So
yes, very
you do
true.
have some news.
Do have some news, and then we'll talk about the all the things Apple Festival. Okay?
Yes, including a surprise performance coming up that no one knew about.
Yeah, it wasn't advertised, I think, as well as maybe
Yeah.
it should have been. So
you're
stay
going to hear it
tuned.
here.
You got some news
Yes.
about that as well.
Yeah.
So this happened on Friday, September 15th.
Okay.
You guys were already off the air when this happened. It happened at 10:10 a.m. There was a
Oof.
2-vehicle crash. Here's the crash scene. Dylan's put up on the screen for those watching on the TV side of things. But it was a 2-vehicle crash, and it occurred at 10:10 a.m. Emergency personnel were dispatched to this crash, and it happened at the intersection of Pearl Street and Columbia Street in Jackson there. The Jackson police report said that it's Christine M. Irk, 23 of Oak Hill, was operating a 2020 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it was a Enterprise rental car.
Oof.
And you can see it there. That's the one grand collar with the out-of-state plate for those watching. And then she was traveling on Columbia Street. She stopped at the stop sign at the intersection of Columbia Street and Pearl Street. She told authorities that she did not look for oncoming traffic for proceeding in the intersection. This resulted in the vehicle being excuse me, stumbling over my words this morning. It's a Monday. This resulted in her vehicle striking the front passenger side of a 2021 Toyota RAV4. The Toyota was operated by Pamela K. Evans, 68 of Jackson. Evans was traveling southeast on Pearl Street. Evans's vehicle ended up coming to rest against the utility pole. You can see it over there.
Oh, man.
In the picture. While the other vehicle there, the Jeep, came to rest near the curb, and as you can see, it was leaking fluids onto the roadway. Evans, who was the vehicle that got struck, was transported by Jackson County EMS to Holzer Medical Center Jackson for suspected minor injuries. A juvenile that was a passenger in the Jeep was checked out on scene by EMS personnel for shoulder pain. The roadway was closed anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes while crews worked to clean up the scene. Also at the scene, the Jackson Fire Department responded, as they usually do, to help clean up the scene.
Sure.
And Christina, the young lady who she caused the crash, according to the police, was cited with failure to yield from a stop sign. So
Ooh,
make sure you
that's some
look
scary
left,
stuff.
look right, and make sure you look left again in this situation.
Yeah, and you think in the middle of town you're not going to get into some kind of accident like that, but you see it all the time.
You do. That one was kind of unusual, for downtown like that.
Yeah.
When I rolled up on the scene, I was like, "It's a bit much
Yeah,
for downtown."
that
Almost
looks
downtown,
scary.
but yeah,
And the thing is, too, with the way the sun is and whatever, sometimes it gets in your face and you can't see. And,
right.
So just be extra vigilant.
Right. And I don't have anything on this, but I know there was speaking of sun, we always think about State Route 32 and 139. We had a
Yeah,
crash.
must have been
There was
an
a crash
accident
out,
last night.
out that way over the weekend. Don't
Or
know.
sometime. I got
It was
one of the.
Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
I didn't go out, but I know the text alert went out. I did turn the scanner on long enough to listen to see what was going on. It sounded like it was a 2-vehicle. Everybody was out of the vehicle, so it must not have been
Okay.
too bad. But it sounded like a car was over an embankment, so I don't know if it went off the roadway there
Maybe.
in the westbound lanes there a little bit. But don't know a whole lot of details. They've not sent anything out on that one yet. But
It's I don't know. It's scary, but that's just one of those intersections.
It is.
It's just crazy.
yeah, I always worry because my in-laws live out 139 there.
Yeah.
So I always give them a text if I hear
You
there's a
all
crash out the way. Hey,
right?
are you not, it's not you, is it? You know. So, but
Yeah.
anyhow, let's get into Apple Festival time. We're going to talk about the Ohio Valley Bank opening its annual Little Miss Apple Festival exhibit.
Wait.
Dylan put
That's your meme.
Dylan put my meme up here. So I took this Saturday morning, Jen.
That's so true.
Brace yourselves. The Apple Festival is coming. So this was the first batch of chairs that I seen out in front of CVS there on the
And
parade
that was
route.
Saturday?
This was Saturday morning.
Good grief.
Saturday morning. I took that picture at, let's see. I took that picture at 10:10 Saturday
Oh my
morning.
God.
And that was...
I think it's just free
Oh,
chairs
no.
for everyone.
No, that's when I made the meme. So I took the picture at 9:47 a.m. Saturday
God.
morning because we were out running some errands.
These people are prepared.
Yeah, so that's just a funny little meme because you only see people use that's I think Ned Stark from Game of Thrones.
Winter is
Yeah,
coming.
winter is coming, and so I made one last year using one of the crowded street scenes using Ned Stark in it, but I thought it was appropriate with the chairs.
Definitely,
because
definitely.
I just and then by that afternoon, Jen, you just see them. They were
They're
popping
just
up like daisies
everywhere.
all around the
mean,
parade
somebody
route.
waters the lawn at
Yeah.
CVS and all
They
the chairs
just-
pop out.
They just pop up.
Yep.
So, and we had another picture, Dylan, if you'll throw up the one of the Jaffe members setting up the booths. So this
Yeah.
was around the same time. I had to stop and pay a bill down the street,
Yeah.
and I walked up and was showing them a picture of the chairs already, and they thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
But they're working hard to set up the booths. I'd say all those booths are probably set up.
I'd
by
say they
now.
are. Those things
not been
magically
uptown.
happen. It's so funny. You can drive down the street and they're not there, and then
And
the
then
next thing you know, there
then
they
they're
are.
there. Which the booths, a lot of local businesses utilize those.
Yep.
And for the Apple Festival week, which is always nice to see. We'll have a booth up there again this year for Total Media, so be sure to stop by and say hi. We'll
Yep.
be up there manning the booths, taking different shifts, so be sure to watch for us.
Yep.
But what I was going to get into was the Ohio Valley Bank opened its annual Little Miss Apple Festival exhibit in the lobby. We have a ribbon cutting picture.
So cute. I was in there the other day and they were still setting it up, but it is adorable if you haven't been in there.
So here we go. So this is the ribbon cutting picture. You can see there that is Ohio Valley Bank. That's Joe Wyant. And I have the information on the Little Miss here. 2022 Apple Festival Little Miss, Jalen Valise. I think that's how you say her last name. Valise. Does that sound right?
I don't know.
I think it is. Valise. And Ohio Valley Bank Assistant Vice President and Jackson County Regional Manager Joe Wyant. They are pictured cutting the opening ribbon for the exhibit, and it's Valise's exhibit there at the Jackson Ohio Valley Bank lobby. And you can't see in this picture, but there was another picture that I had where you can see the top 10 Little Miss
Yes.
in the picture, so that's kind of neat. Go ahead and throw another one of the photos up there, Dylan. So here are the top 10 finalists for the Little Miss this year.
Cute.
And you can see in the background there, you have the Little Miss up there standing above. And you also have your queen, first and second attendant. I don't have their names here in front of me. And
They
you also have...
the queen is Abby Plants. The first attendant is Kylie Duncan. And Deanna Houston would be the second attendant.
Very good. And then you have your top 10 Little Miss there. And they will be a part of the Apple Festival Little Miss contest that'll be held at 11 a.m. on the Jaffe main stage on Saturday, September 23rd.
Yep.
At the 82nd Annual Jackson Apple Festival. One of those young ladies will be crowned the 2023 Jackson Apple Festival Little Miss.
Yep.
The crowning will take place at 12:15 p.m. But they always have this exhibit every year in the lobby, and they have a reception as a part of this that they have. And
it's so adorable.
yeah, it is. And you can see some of the Little Miss finalists here looking at some of the scrapbooks and different stuff that the current Little Miss has collected and put out.
And they have like a couple of her dresses on
They
display,
do.
which is really cute, and just a lot of neat things.
Right. And so at the reception, which was held on Thursday, September 14th, that's when they opened it.
Yes.
The girls enjoyed light refreshments, a bag of goodies. There was a coloring sheet they did. And of course, there were Disney princesses on hand for the event, which I should have sent a picture myself. I got a picture with the princesses. And my wife joked she was going to share that picture because I shared it on social media. She was going to share it and say something about there being a third princess or something among the other Disney princesses there. But you had Belle and Cinderella this year. And there you go. There's a photo that's Little Miss. That's Jones, little Jones girl. I think her name's Aubrey Jones, with Belle and Cinderella.
Nice.
And also have a little video clip that Dylan can share of the Belle. She made up a song with the girls, and it was a rendition of Wheels on the Bus, but she used the Beauty and the Beast, Friends from the Castle. So we have a video clip of that we can show here.
Now, does everybody know who this guy is? It's Lumiere. He's the candle man. Lumiere. You guys say Lumiere? Lumiere. All right, we're going to do that, okay? Lumiere, the candle says, be our guest, be our guest, be our guest. Lumiere, the candle says, be our guest, all through the castle. This is Fifi. You guys say Fifi? Fifi. Fifi's kind of a funny name, isn't it? Fifi, the feather duster says, sweep, 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 sweep. Fifi, the feather duster says, sweep, 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 all through the castle. All right, we're going to call her Madame, okay? The wardrobe. Madam, the wardrobe goes open and shut, open and shut, open and shut. Madam, the wardrobe goes open and shut, all through the castle. And lastly, everybody knows who this is.
Teapot and Chip.
Yes. And Miss Teapot's name is actually just Miss Potts, okay?
So there you go. There is There is the Beauty and the Beast rendition of Wheels on the Bus there with the Friends from the Castle. So after the song, Cinderella also read the girls the Dr. Seuss book entitled 10 Apples Up on Top.
Oh.
And after they finished up their refreshments, everybody journeyed back upstairs for that ribbon cutting picture that we showed for the special exhibit to open there in the bank. And the exhibit will run the week of the Apple Festival. It features souvenirs from her past year, including scrapbooks, photos, special dresses, and some of her favorite things. And we already talked about the Little Miss. I think we could run through those real quick. Those vying for Little Miss. You have Hadley Scarberry, Harper Williamson, Callie Wooten, Berkeley Ousley, Aubrey Jones, Willa DeLong, Macy Caldwell, Mia Crabtree, Emberlyn Chesser, and Adeline Arms are the 10 that are vying for Little Miss this year. So that's a little bit about the exhibit that opens. If you guys want to check that out, it is open during regular banking hours.
Very good. And it is adorable. It's worth walking in just to see. It's really cute.
And their little archway this year had been redesigned. In past years, it had been like a hot air balloon is what it was. And this year, they redesigned it, and it looks like the Apple Water Tower.
That's awesome.
I think I think they were telling me Jessica Taylor, who works there at OVB, had designed and made
That's
the
so good.
apple for that. So it's
Hey, listen.
really neat to see.
Speaking of, I gotta give kudos to somebody, and I don't normally do this very often, but if you walk in our local Walmart store, somebody has done a cake. It's like it just says for display purposes, but they made the apple tower.
Oh, really?
It's like really cute. It's when you first walk into like the grocery part.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there in like a case, and I was like, that's really good. I
It's
don't know
pretty
who
cool.
did it.
I haven't been in
But-
there. I haven't been in there recently.
Yeah, I
I'll
saw
have
it yesterday when I was in there, and I was like, that is really very festive for this week.
Well, that is fun.
So,
yes.
Yeah, somebody had some creativity.
They did. So, so Jen, it's time to talk about Apple Festival. You ready?
I am so ready.
Here's my lead for the story that ran over the weekend. You
Okay.
ready?
Yes.
Every year, the third week in September, folks from miles away and close to home travel to downtown Jackson, where they have the opportunity to taste, drink, and even smell the aroma of apples in the air.
It's deep.
It is deep.
Sit there lawn chairs on the side of the street.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We've discussed
we put my
that.
meme up. That was the first set of the year that I had there at 9:47 on Saturday morning.
It's like so funny. People
Parade's
come
not till
down
Wednesday, but
9 o'clock
Yeah.
on the morning on Saturday. The lawn chairs
Lawn
pop
chairs
up all
are
over
out.
Jackson.
so the
God.
82nd annual Jackson Apple Festival will be held Tuesday, September 19th through Saturday, September 23rd.
Yep.
The theme for this year's festival is "The Apple Butter is Churning as the Fall Leaves Are Turning." That winning theme was submitted by local businesswoman Erin Johnson. She operates a successful business here in Jackson.
Yep.
Our friend Mark Carmen
Yes.
is
Yay,
local
Carmen.
car dealer. He is commonly referred to as Carmen the Car Man, and he has been named this year's 2023 Jackson Apple Festival Grand Marshal. Here's a photo of him on the screen with his grandkids. And
I love that picture.
it is such
so
a
good.
it's a cute photo. It is.
Yes.
And so a little bit about this year's festival. All booths and exhibits will open daily, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. This year, rides will open Monday, Thursday, and Friday at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Will be open until 10 o'clock. On Wednesday from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Now, there's something new and much needed for festival goers has been added this week for the Apple Festival, thanks to a local business.
Okay.
Jackson Transportation will be providing shuttle services to and from the Jackson Apple Festival for a small fee of $2 per person.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and they're one-way trips, and children 4 and under can ride the shuttle for free, and only cash will be accepted. And the shuttle service hours will be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay.
Thursday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. And the shuttle vans will run every 10 to 15 minutes. And there are 10 locations serving as both pickup and drop-off
So
spots.
they're doing like a bus route.
Kind of like a
almost.
bus route.
That's awesome.
Kind of like you'd see maybe like in Tennessee or something,
Mhm.
where they would run through and pick you up like on the trolley.
Yeah.
So the locations, for those that may be interested in that, you have Kroger's parking lot. They say to stand behind the Appalachia Realty Building
Okay.
is where they want you to stand,
Sure.
but you can park there in the lot. They say do not park in the Appalachia lot or you'll be towed.
Yeah.
Nia will tow
Don't do
you.
that.
She will call the truck. Walgreens parking lot. They say stand behind the building there on Walgreens on the backside. I'm assuming between maybe the park and
Okay.
Walgreens
Yeah,
there
there's that little.
would be my
there's
guess
parking
when they
lot
say
there,
back
yeah.
of the building. Eddie Jones parking lot is one of the locations. You can
Okay.
park there and then stand near the entrance, and they'll pick you up there. The Apple City parking lot, you can stand near the fence at the top of the parking lot by Pizza Hut, where the fence
Oh,
is
okay.
on the
Yeah.
side. So you can park down in that lot and then walk up, and they'll pick you
Gotcha.
up from there. The Jackson Middle School parking lot, stand by the inside fence.
Okay.
The Jackson High School parking lot, and this is stand by the football stadium.
Okay.
So, on Saturday, they'll have the Jackson High School band show out there too, so they can transport you back and forth
That's
for that as
awesome.
well. The Grace Church United Methodist, that's Locust Street and Oak Street. behind the main stage. That's Broadway Street and Court Street, corner of Main Street and Portsmouth Street, and then behind West Banco by the Apple Tower on Church Street.
Okay.
So, and a good example that they gave of this, say you park down at the Apple City parking lot and they pick you up, cost you $2, they'll take you up, drop you off at the festival.
Yeah.
When you're ready to leave the festival, just pick one of these locations in downtown, such as, by the West Banco
Sure.
building there.
Doesn't have to be where
you
came
were.
from, yeah.
So you could go to the behind the West Banco there by the Apple Tower, pay $2. They'll take you back to your car at the other parking
sounds
spot.
like a good deal.
Yeah. And they did say for those festival goers who may need wheelchair, access transportation, you got to call ahead in advance so that they can bring a van that has the wheelchair accessibility to one of those locations that I mentioned before. As we were saying earlier, there's kind of an unofficial, getting all tongue-tied this morning, Jen.
You're fine.
There's an unofficial start to the festival tonight.
Can you believe it? This has never happened before.
Not that I can recall. So tonight on the main stage there will be entertainment. They are having a contemporary Christian concert tonight, starting at 6:00 on the Jaffe main stage. Live music will be provided by Clay Webb and Jesse Reynolds.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be who will be on the stage tonight, and it's kind of a that's not
them.
That's
no.
not it.
That's Black Hawk.
That's Black Hawk. So that'll be happening tonight at 6:00 on the main stage, and it's kind of an unofficial start.
Love it. That's
Things
awesome.
don't get kicked off till Tuesday, but I guess the festival president, somebody came up to him and was asking him about doing this, and he kind of gave the green light. So
hey, the stage is there. Why not?
it's
use
there.
It, right?
Yeah, get a little. I told him, I said, we don't need to be stretching the festival another day, sir. We're already Tuesday through Saturday. We don't need to add a day.
There's already a lot.
So getting into the festival kicking off on Tuesday, September 19th, the festivities will open to the public at noon. At 2:00 is that annual apple peeling contest there on the main stage, and
the one I'm not
sure
allowed to participate in.
Well, you ought to get up there and participate.
They won't let me. I about cut my fingers off, and they took my knife from me.
Well, then you probably shouldn't participate. I participated one year.
My peel was 3/4 of an inch long.
I don't remember what mine was, but I came in 5th.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was several up there. 8, I think. 5th out of 8. I'd have to look. I'll have to look it up and see. But I did place. You
didn't lose.
I didn't lose. I did decent, and I didn't cut myself. So that's good. I am not Betty Tilly.
There is no.
I was getting ready
Betty
to say,
Tilly.
I'm sure we'll see Betty Tilly,
Tilly
and the Tilly family up there.
Yes.
Because usually, her. I think it's her daughter and son-in-law, and all of them
I've
compete.
only seen
Sister.
Betty dethroned one time.
Well, I've never
in
seen
all
it.
of my
It's always been
years.
back-to-back years with Tilly winning it there.
And it was a lady, and I remember it because it was a lady that was just traveling through town and had stopped and was like visiting.
And showed her up.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're going to do a handicap this year. She has to use a butcher knife.
Yeah, she has to do this with one arm tied behind her back to make it fair for everybody else.
You're right. That's always fun to see, and usually the royalty take part too, and that's hilarious to watch because some of them cannot hold a knife. Like you said, you worry about them cutting their fingers. So opening ceremonies will take place there on the main stage. They usually have the ribbon cutting ceremony. That'll take place at 4:00. And Tuesday night's main entertainment is a popular one. It's the lip sync contest.
Yes, it is.
8:30 p.m. And you can find all the information about that on our website, telegramnews.com.
That's right. Tuesday night's a party at the Apple Festival because the kids are out of school Wednesday, so they're all
up there,
ready to go.
They are, and they usually have several kids participate in that up there.
Oh yeah,
and a lot of them are really good at doing the lip sync.
Yep,
it's been interesting to watch over the years. Wednesday, September 20th is, like you were saying, the kids will be out of school, so they have the all you can ride rides free from 12 to 4 p.m.
Oh.
On Wednesday.
Oh my.
So be aware of that. They have the preschool parade at 9 a.m. The school parade happens at 11 a.m. and the opening parade at 7:45 p.m. So it's a day of parades at the Apple Festival. Also, Wednesday, check out the main stage for a variety of contests. They have the ice cream blizzard eating contest, apple pie eating contest. They got those big wheel races, and some of the entertainment for the evening. You have the Disciples of Christ, the B and C Shaking Stompers, and the final evening entertainment is that Apple Festival Got Talent contest.
Yes, that's always a
And
big one
I was
too.
hearing whisperings that our very own Rodney Tomlin is going to be a judge
Oh,
for that.
I heard a rumbling of that as well.
Okay, so I'm not the only one. So
if you don't win, blame Porterhouse.
yep, blame Porterhouse. And that'll close out your Tuesday or your Wednesday. Your Thursday, September 21st, Apple Festival. Things get started at noon with one of your favorite things, Jen, the baby stroller races.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to participate this year?
I don't know. We'll see.
You haven't decided? I feel like you need to go up there and...
I mean, I would do it. It's more about what my schedule this week dictates.
Okay.
But I think we're planning on it. Are we, James, planning on it? Yeah.
And James is going to be your substitute
James can be my substitute.
if you can't go.
And this year, maybe someone will turn the camera on if James does the baby stroller race.
Has class that day, so I don't have a backup unless Jeremiah wants to.
Oh, Jeremiah! Now you just got volunteered. He's like, oh, I shouldn't have run my mouth.
Yeah. And they also had that baby crawling contest. It's $1 entry fee
And
for
that
both
is
of those.
So funny.
Yeah, it is
because
very
some
entertaining.
Of them, like,
they got
just
the keys.
sit on their butts and like wave at their parents. And
you got the keys. Like, come on,
here's
you gotta
your
win.
bottle, little Johnny. Come
Yeah, that's always very entertaining.
One year I saw one of them like jumped up and ran.
It didn't even crawl. Oh wow,
It's just funny. Because you never know what
they're gonna do.
Yeah, they are so cute.
And you got all kinds of music happening on Thursday. You have Jerry Branscombe at 5:00. You have Ricky Lee at 6:30. You have the Majestic Dreamers at 7 at 7 p.m. and at 8 p.m. the highlight entertainment is the Wet Bandits. The Wet Bandits. And then Friday, September 22nd will feature now you can throw that picture up there, Dylan.
They're a 90s party band if you're wondering what the Wet Bandits are.
This isn't the Wet Bandits. This is
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk country artist, Nashville.
Yes, like
Red can tell you all about him if he was here.
You're gonna know a million songs that they sing. I promise you. If you listen to country music in the 90s and till today, you know Black Hawk songs.
Yeah, sorry, I got Black Hawk. I don't have any Wet Bandits.
That's fine.
It's okay.
That's okay. So that's your big entertainment on Friday at 9:00. It says for more than 20 years, the group has shared a unique sense of harmony with their voices, their songs, and their fans.
Yep.
Opening for Black Hawk at 7:30 p.m. on the Chaffee stage will be local artist Gary Everett. I think a lot of folks know Gary. He's been playing music in the area for a number of years. And the final day of the festival will be Saturday, September 23rd. That will wrap up the Jackson Apple Festival with a day packed full of events from morning to night.
Oh, yeah.
And they always have bright and early on Saturdays that 5K run and walk that they do. Usually have a pretty good crowd for that. And then you have the baby contest. You'll have the annual cruising down there at Manpower Park. You'll have the grand finale parade, which features over 175 units. And I'm hearing the Marching 110 will be in that this year.
Yep, absolutely. The OU band.
Yep. And I was hearing, I can't remember who told, one of the Jaffe members, I think, was telling me this. You have 110 in the band, but they're going to have like over 200 in the parade because you got all the folks that walk with them. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be
that's an extra
big crowd
200 people that are.
They got to find a spot for.
Right, exactly.
So, and that usually kind of wraps that up there. Don't forget about the top 10 Little Miss that we talked about.
Yep.
They'll be doing that at 11 o'clock on Saturday. And don't forget this week to stop by some of these locations. They will be doing a craft show at the Memorial Building. The Apple Festival Art Invitation will be taking place at the Marquee.
Yep.
There will be history on display at the Lillian James Museum. And then you have, as we mentioned before, all the numerous festival booths and exhibits. Some of the different displays that you can find throughout town for the Jackson Apple Festival include those royalty displays.
Yep.
You got the Queen's Window display at Michael's Ice Cream. You got the Little Miss Queen's display at Ohio Valley Bank that we mentioned. The Passport member display will be at West Banco, and the Queen display will be at the Farm Bureau, the Jackson Benton Farm Bureau there. And one of the mainstays of the festival that has been there for a very long time. Don't forget about the Victory Grange's apple butter.
Heck yeah.
They're located on the Midway, usually down by the Jackson
Memorial
City.
Building.
Yeah, the Memorial Building, the Jackson City building there.
So you can hit the art and craft show and the apple
And
butter
the apple
all
butter.
at the same time.
All on
Yep.
that same side of the festival there. And they usually have pints and quart jars available. I got to remember to get me a jar this year because I forgot. I didn't make it over there last year and they sold
Should've
out.
been here Friday. They brought us some.
I heard. I saw you guys
We
did
got
a
to taste
tasting.
test
You
it.
did. Was it good?
Oh my!
I was
Pete,
gonna.
Was it good?
It was very good.
Very good.
I was.
Can you go ahead and give that jar to Red?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I'm sure Red's enjoying that this morning.
You know that you can mix apple butter and mustard.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not even gonna say that.
Pete
If Red-
Wilson's off to the side here. He says apple butter and mustard on bread for Mr. Thompson there.
That's because Red Thompson. The joke is he puts mustard on everything.
He does.
Pizza, oranges. You
He's
name it.
got. Last I checked, he had 2 bottles of mustard on his desk in the newsroom there. So, that's a. Yeah. So that's a rough rundown. You can see a complete schedule of events on the telegramnews.com. I just kind of did some of the highlights. There's a lot more that is offered
Or pick
as
up
well.
one of these beautiful programs and
Printed
you
by
can-
Zip Printing.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a big schedule of events on the inside as well.
Yep. I was told they weren't doing the placemats this year.
What?
Yeah, so you might not
That's an Apple
find.
Festival staple.
I know you may not find the placemats throughout town, but look for the books because the placemat's in there.
Very
So,
good.
That's a rundown of what I have, and I'll go ahead and give my seat to Mr. Wilson.
Well, thank you, Jeremiah. And
Look
we will
for
be-
me. I'm sure I'll be
Yeah,
up at the
I
Apple
was gonna say.
Festival. We got to discuss coverage this afternoon, so
It won't be
be
real
sure
hard to
to,
find some of us down there.
yeah.
That's for sure.
It's like a second home.
Yes.
This week.
We just can't walk out. We don't have the privilege of walking out the door now.
Yeah,
The
but see, I never
luxury.
got to experience that, so
It was pretty fun.
I always had to fight for a spot. But I always did get lucky. I'd find a spot somewhere downtown where the lines weren't painted very good, but it was definitely a parking spot. All right,
now
I'm
you
gonna
just
go.
told your secret.
Nobody knows where it is.
It was a
I
parking
didn't give it
spot.
away.
Well, very good. Well, come on over, Pete Wilson. Pete is here, and we're going to talk some more news. Lots of things going on.
Right. I tell you what we're going to start with, and that was Apple Festival big, but you know what else is big? The Vinton County Air Show.
Yes, it is.
Right. And I want to publicly thank on television
our
man Dylan Euler for
Yay,
taking care of that on the
Dylan.
newspaper side. It's been truly exhausting the last couple weeks.
Yes.
One festival and then another festival, a lot of stuff going on. Besides that, it seems like even for September, we know we're going to have that in September. But Dylan was willing to take his trusty 35 millimeter up there to the air show. He had been there one time before, so I'm sure that helped. And I did check with him this morning. He did return unscathed. He was up on top of the terminal building to help get elevated better for photos.
How did you get up there?
Pete just told me that Nick mentioned it, and I just walked in and I said, "Hey, Nick, I'm here to take some photos." And he said, "Oh, okay, let's take you to the roof." And I just went up there and did my thing.
Right. He was in strategic position to get
That
the candy
is-
being dropped before
Yes.
for the little kids. That might
Yes.
have been a little bit of the motivation there. But Dylan was there, and we are going to have some coverage here in the paper this week, hopefully in our Wednesday paper, some photos. It was a
where you got to show your stuff, Dylan.
Yeah,
I got multiple videos.
Yeah, just keep playing it. We'll talk over it.
I tell you what, I know you're the production guy, but take over the narration here because you took the photos. You tell us what you got.
Okay, so
We'll all learn.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting a photo of Steve Ratcliffe, and he did some of the cooking for the chicken.
Oh, the famous
dinners.
barbecue
Look at the
chicken.
A
Wow,
lot of
look
people were
at
going
that.
crazy over that, and I did get a chance to try it myself, and I can say it was pretty good.
Okay. All right.
And then I got this plane right here. I think it was Emerson Stewart.
And 3 consecutive loops. Let's go for the first one. Up over the top. The first one's the easy one. Down the other side. There comes the second one. A little bit tougher to get that energy. Up over the top. But the big killer is, can you get the third one out? Come on, Emerson. Let's see if we can get 3 loops over Vinton County. Here we go. We're going for the third. He's starting to peter out, but I think he's got it. And he nails it right there. All right, quick hammerhead reversal.
Emerson Stewart, okay.
There was also a paraglider.
Whose insurance, by the way, is very costly.
Like
Talk
that?
into the microphone, Dylan.
Okay, I'm talking into the microphone now. So,
We're getting situated here.
all right. So, what, am I still talking away from it? Okay. So this was Kelly. I didn't get his last name. It's in my notes somewhere, but this is Kelly. And he flew a paraglider.
All right, here we go. Watch this. Or not. Here we go. It's going inflated, and he's running. He's running for his life, and he's flapping his wings. Oh my gosh, he's flying. I don't know about this. Oh, you believe that? Nick, you would look good in that. You can fly down there and pick up those people who are walking up. Just grab them by the collar. Then drag them back up here.
Oh, that's the audio. My bad. I swear I was turning down the movie. That's my mistake.
You'll notice the canopy.
Okay, there.
That person's
That's better.
verifiably insane.
With the skydivers.
Yeah, this is
what we call a
one of my more
high
favorite
aspect
parts of the show.
ratio
Just
wing.
thought that was a really cool
Once
sight to see.
the canopy inflates, it is a wing.
I got the audio turned up
And
and I
he
turned the
can
movie
fly
down.
as long as there's gas. Now, if he had...
And then
like
there was
down in
also the candy drop.
California, if you
And
could catch
personally,
the
this
sea
is
breeze,
probably
you don't
like
even need a motor.
one of my biggest favorite parts of this because it's just so cool to see. Like, it just feels like a scene straight out of a movie. I swear, that would play.
Look at all those people. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, right before this, you could see Santa Claus skydive down, and he got everybody ready.
I know.
Yeah, it took them a good while to get ready. And here you can see the guy signaling. Gives a little bit of a countdown.
On a mission. Yeah, it kind of wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't fly it over from what I could see. They just got everything out.
Oh, very nice,
That
Dylan.
was the air show, and I'll have a lot more photos and a lot more videos ready for you, Pete.
All right. Well, thank you very much once again, Dylan. That gave you an idea of the spectacle
How
there. If you've never
fun.
been to an air show, you just got to make it happen. That was if you're not a pilot or a person, an aficionado of the aerial stuff, it is something to see. You can see from that small sample there.
I'm just going to tell you, as the Grand Marshal of the Jackson Apple Festival says all the time, those people have bumped their heads.
Wow, that is something.
That's a Mark Carmen line for sure.
Right. Well,
they have all bumped their heads getting out of there with like a little parachute thing, and no way.
Right, and I tell you, we need to do this on the back end. We need to thank that relatively small group of Vinton County pilots and boosters for making
Yep.
it happen. Believe me, they didn't want to be in a position where doing the show was not doing the show was an option.
Right, absolutely.
But it certainly truly was this year because of the manpower thing. But it gives it's a great community event as far as the spectacle, and it raises much needed money for the airport, and it's good PR for the airport. It lets people know it's there, and of course, we know that in any small airport, Jackson County included, it's much more than just a recreational thing. It's an economic development thing, and in Vinton County, it is considered very important to their continued effort to try to drive tourism.
Yes.
There, remember, they're right close to the Hocking Hills.
That's
and
right.
They feel the roof is very high there for potential. All right, well, we'll talk about a few other things here in the time we have left. Last newscast when I was on, we talked about the big event held in Wellston during the Ohio Hill Country Festival at Scotty's on First, where they had this hymn basically to Wellston and all that has gone on through the years as it's sesquicentennial. And on top of that, some of the economic development things that have happened lately that are good, that have kept Wellston going and with a bright future.
Yes.
But one of the things that they did, probably the leading news announcement there, was about a new project that Buckeye Construction and Restoration is doing.
Yes.
And we promised we'd tell you a little bit more about that. We featured it on the front page in our last Saturday paper, or Wednesday paper, just a week ago. And the old Penn's Warehouse, which is basically across the highway 327 from the General Mills plant.
Yes.
That has been empty. But what Bob Brown and his group plans to do is basically turn it in, do some rehab work and turn it into a retail center, light manufacturing and retail there, kind of like a mall there a little bit.
Okay.
A lot of details have not been released, but that is the basic concept there.
Wow.
And obviously, it's a 50,000 square foot. They're going to call it the Buckeye Commercial Center, and it will provide warehousing, light manufacturing, retail in several essential characteristics that have not been fully divulged. So they must have kind of a mind of what type of retail.
Sure.
They need to clean up, redevelop, and revitalize, but they have already started on that. No timetable exactly. It's probably maybe not known for sure when it will be ready, but it sounds like, I qualify what I'm saying because I don't know firsthand, it sounds like that they're getting a facility ready and then they're going to invite tenants in for these different things. And maybe, Brown Construction Restoration will have a little bit use for the site, but it's not an annex for them necessarily.
Okay.
It is. And of course, they feel like Jackson kind of developed there on 93 to the south there. You're just a youngster, relatively speaking, but I can remember when it was all houses, basically from Huron Street south.
Okay.
Basically all houses.
Yeah.
Truly, it really was. I was there. I saw it. And now it is almost all retail.
Yes.
Well, that is what some people see. I think Sam Brady kind of sees it this way. He is the CEO and president of the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership. He sees that south entry into Wellston on 327, General Mills there on the end. They see that as a prime area for retail development. As you know, as you drive through there is a lot of there's a lot of land there. I don't know how available it's going to be, if it's for sale or what might be speculated, but
there's also easy access, obviously, off the highway to into the highway. So people traveling and that sort as well would be good candidates for customers for that kind of place.
Right, and if it drives traffic there with what happens there at Penn's Warehouse, it will make the property around it more valuable. Because suddenly you kind of have a commercial strip there.
Yep.
So we'll see. Don't mean to get ahead of ourselves, but someone has to get things.
Somebody
rolling.
has to have a vision and go for it.
Right, and Bob Brown has certainly been one of the major economic development success stories with what he's done with with the Buckeye Construction and Restoration. Sam pointed out that it is now the number 2 employer in the private sector in Wellston behind General Mills.
Wow.
So that is something. Okay, another thing we want to tell you
That
about.
is awesome.
This is another success story, and this is something that's happened, not overnight, but it is definitely worth talking about, and we will have a story detailing it, hopefully in our Wednesday paper. The University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College had some rough sledding here, 3-4 years ago. Driven, I'm sure COVID certainly contributed to it, but there was a real problem with declining enrollment there. And yes, some painful cuts and changes were made, but of course, Ryan Smith, former Speaker of the House, is the president.
Yep.
I'm sure it's not just him, but he has led the way for a major improvement there.
Absolutely.
There has been an impressive enrollment surge, and that is what it is all about, for colleges and universities. There has been an astounding, they use that adjective, and I can't say it's hyperbole, a 32% increase in enrollment in the last couple years, a 12% across the board increase just this year. And so, now they have growing pains. They're talking about building the Trinity Hall, extra residential housing or whatever. That's supposed to open in the fall of 2024. Yep. We know that they've already done a groundbreaking. But there has been a substantial increase not only in the community college, but maybe more importantly on the private university side, because the community college makes it extremely affordable for those first 2 years. And remember, a tax levy was passed back in the early 70s, I think, that helped fund this. But if you live in Jackson County, Vinton County, Gallia County, or Meigs County, you can hit those 2 years very affordable.
Yeah.
But then the problem is, if you're looking for a 4-year degree, it becomes much more expensive the last 2 years. Well, Brian Smith, through what they are, the type of academic offerings they have, they've changed kind of what they offered, maybe a little bit more towards more utilitarian towards jobs.
Uh-huh.
And also, they've just done a good job selling themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They've improved some of the quality of life type things, the athletics, they've offered more sports and whatever. There's a whole lot of things that have gone into it, but the bottom line is Rio Grande is not only stabilized, it is on the rise.
That's awesome.
So, we'll have a very nice story on that in our Wednesday paper. Is definitely worth a read. And that, even if you don't go to school or you don't have anybody in school there at Rio Grande, the presence of that university and that community college is very important to the whole picture.
Yes.
In our area, including Jackson County and Vinton County. Of course, one of the things in Vinton County, they hope to build a MacArthur Center very soon. They need to get some outside funding, but I think they feel pretty good that they're going to get that and they'll be able to go forward with that. And that would replace the MacArthur Center that is housed in the old Vinton County High School now. Right. So it would be a big step forward for them. I know we had Misty Napier on. I'm sure she talked a little bit about that. We'll be hearing a whole lot more about that. Okay, last weekend it was homecoming at Oak Hill High School.
Oh, how fun.
And so we want to show you the royalty there at Oak Hill High School. But last year's King and Queen were there to crown this year's King and Queen. This was in pre-game ceremonies. Red Thompson was there. And if we're looking left to right there, that is last year's King, Reagan Michael, standing by this year's King, Mason Davis. Obviously, he's a football player.
Uh-huh.
Then you have this year's Queen, who is, let me make sure I got the name right, Emma Davis, being crowned by last year's Queen, Jordan Howard, out there on the football field. I'm sure they had a homecoming dance on Saturday, but a little bit early in the season, but homecoming celebrated at Oak Hill, had a great night. Couldn't have been a better weather for all the football games that were going on that night. So congratulations to all of them. And of course, those kids that are the royalty, attendance and whatever, are all picked by the students. So that is a great honor. Okay, somebody else who had a big weekend, a young lady, it would be Brooklyn Burns. She is a Vinton County High School senior, and they have a very neat program up at Vinton County that they've been doing through a number of years. It's called the Distinguished Young Woman of Vinton County program, and that is a national program. There is Brooklyn. She's smiling because she is the Distinguished Young Woman of Vinton County. 5 Vinton County High School seniors vied for this
How
honor.
cute.
This was last
Love that.
Saturday night at Vinton County High School. And she will go on to another contest, statewide contest at Marysville, Ohio in November. And the winner of that state contest, I believe it's only one that advances, but I'm not sure. They will go to a national contest the following June in Mobile, Alabama.
Cool.
So outside of just, the pride and joy in winning this title, it's a $2,000 cash scholarship.
Oh, well,
so
that'll do.
That was worth the effort. And Parker Mock, who was the runner-up, will get a $1,000 scholarship. And the other three candidates who vied will get a $100 scholarship.
Nice.
So very, very nice program there. And congratulations to Brooklyn Burns. All right. We also want to do a shout out to Hadley Fain. Hadley Fain is from Wellston, and we know from covering the news and some of these art exhibits that she is a talented artist. She's out of high school now, I'm pretty sure. But she was the one who designed the new Wellston City banners, and there they are. If you went to the Ohio Hill Country Festival, you saw them. They had them up in time for that.
Cool.
And that is Hadley in front of two of the banners there in the downtown historic business district of Wellston, and they are definitely worth a look-see. That is a very neat program that Wellston has. If you haven't seen it or heard about it, they have these banners. They're seasonal. They rotate them, I think, at least 4 times per year.
That's cool.
They have the Christmas banners later, close to Christmas, and so forth. So congratulations to Hadley Fain and everybody who is involved in that project. So a couple highway projects are going to start as early as today that are worth telling you about. It's really going to affect the traffic in those areas. Two in Jackson County. One is the State Route 327 culvert replacement project. ODOT is telling me it's supposed to start today. Sometimes, things happen and they don't, but it's supposed to start today. A series of culvert replacements on State Route 327 between the Vinton County line north of Wellston and all the way to Wellston. So that is a big area. And what it will be done is it'll be closed daily in the section where they're doing the culvert replacement. So, there's going to be no through traffic is the way it sounds. It's going to be closed 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. during the day. So, if you need to get through or whatever, and it's a big deal to go around it, you might want to go early or go late, depending on, where you're going and what your work job is.
You got it.
There is a listed detour, but a lot of times locally, there's a shorter way to do it if you know the back roads. Okay, the other project, a lot more folks will notice this because it's out on US Route 35. They've been doing a lot of resurfacing out there west of town. They're going to start on another section today between US 35 between the Ross County line, so all the way to the Ross County line back to Kane Road, which is where the roadside rest is.
Yes.
So in that 3-mile section maybe in Jackson County on the far west side, it's not going to be closed. They usually don't do that on the major highways, but it will be down to 1 lane of traffic both ways. They expect it to be done sometime before the end of the fall, but you'll notice that if you're driving that way as early as today.
Okay.
Yeah, just drive a little cautiously. You'll see the signs as you go. By the way, that project up on State Route 327, I know it's going to disrupt the traffic and be inconvenient for some folks, but they do hope to have that completed by the end of next week.
Okay.
September
So
the
not
20th.
a
September
super
the 29th. All this week and next week, that will be affected.
Well, it's looking like pretty good weather, so
Right.
hopefully that
is.
doesn't matter.
It is supposed to be good weather for the festival and everything else. We want to remind you, we told you about this, but we're going to tell you again because it's tonight. The Lillian Jones Museum is going to have a ceremony at 6:30 right there on the front lawn of the museum. They're going to plant a memorial tree in honor of the late Janet Riggle. Long time. We'll get there in a minute, Dylan, but keep that up there. Keep that up there. I'm coming to it. The Lillian Jones Museum is going to have planting a memorial tree in honor of Janet Riggle, who was the first president of the Lillian Jones Board and was for many years. She was a personal friend of the late Lillian Jones. And they're going to also unveil a plaque that will go along with that tree planting. But that is tonight, 6:30. It's open to the public. The picture Dylan put up there, he teed it up because I'm going to talk about that now. That is the new exhibit at the Lillian Jones Museum. Ashley Aldridge, who is the new director, doing a super job there. Of course, retired from the Jackson City Schools, longtime resident. Her family, she was a Henry before she was an Aldridge. One of the old-time families in Jackson, the Henry grocery store and all. So she does appreciate local history. Anyway, this everyday art exhibit is everyday things that is also doubles as art. Maybe it wasn't meant to be art, but for instance, she's standing in front of a commemorative plate collection.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, those plates have history on them, designs of different things through the years and of different places all through the county. There's also displays of Welsh-related items, including Welsh love spoons. Some of those things were on loan from the Mad Dog Center for Welsh Studies at the University of Rio Grande. But there's Bill Hankey, you remember his name. He did a lot of the old signs that were throughout town in the 20th century.
Oh.
Anyway, some of those signs are still there, by the way. You know, the Stifler sign there, even though Stifler's isn't there anymore on that building on Broadway, that's a Bill Hankey sign.
Okay.
The Callahan Insurance lettering that's on that building on Pearl Street, that is a Bill Hankey sign.
Okay.
But anyway, he did some other signs that were more like paintings that were considered true art. And some of those pictures will be on display of those signs as part of this exhibit. And there's lots of other things in there as well, too. But the Everyday Art exhibit actually opened last week. It will go probably through the end of the year. The museum is open normally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on those days. It's going to be open also when they're doing the Roots concert this week.
Yes.
Which
we'll find out more about.
Right.
Later
I think it starts at 5 p.m. on Thursday and Friday.
Friday,
yeah. And there are going to be, of course, different artists singing, during those times.
Awesome.
Morgan Washam, I think, lines that up.
He does.
All right. So let's see. We're near the end, but I do want to tell you, did Jeremiah tell you about the pre-sale ride passes? How that went?
Well, we talked about it off the air, but
okay. Well, anyway,
if you want one, tough tootie.
I know they're out, but this blew my mind. I mean, we know that the Apple Festival is big, but did you know that they sold 5,000 pre-sale ride passes? I'm still not sure that I'm gonna believe it. At $10 a pop.
At $10 a pop, yeah.
Right. It's not like you can't ride if you don't have them. But I think it is a substantial savings.
Because I think it's like 25 or something like that at the festival. So
right, exactly,
woo-wee.
Exactly. And what else do we want to tell you? One other thing on the sports. We'll do that really quick. We had 3 or 4 winners in football on Friday night.
Yay!
The Jackson Ironmen defeated Hamilton Ross 44-14 on Friday night at Alumni Stadium. The Wellston Golden Rockets beat Albany Alexander on the road 27-0. That game was actually played at Nelsonville because they're doing work on the Alexander field, but that's Wellston's second victory. Congratulations to Coach Chris Graham. The Ironmen, by the way, are now 4-1. The Vinton County Vikings are 4-1. They've won 4 in a row. They defeated Athens at home 35-13. They're very much in the running for the TVC Ohio title. And the Oak Hill Oaks lost at home to South Gallia 32-6.
Okay.
Another round of football, of course, coming up on Friday night.
You got it. All right.
That's
thank you, Pete. And we're looking forward to the Apple Festival this week, of course. We'll be filling you in on a lot of stuff. Some guests throughout the week, too, coming in. So we've got to get out of here for the day, and we will see you right back here tomorrow. And you might even meet some Apple Festival queens here. So,
okay. This is the place to be.
That's right. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.